I like meat just as much as the next person. So when I learned that there might be shortages of chicken and beef, I needed to find out what was going on. On April 26th, John Tyson, the chairman of the board of Tyson Foods, one of the world's largest meat manufacturers, released an advertisement in a number of newspapers warning that the food supply chain is breaking. Is it true? The Food and Drug Administration rightly still say there are no food shortages, but when it comes to meat, things appear to be different. Experts explain that there are a number of factors contributing to possible meat shortages in the grocery stores. The coronavirus has led to some meat processing plants, such as Tyson Foods and Smithfield Foods, to close plants or cut back on the number of workers on production lines in order to keep employees safe and follows the social distancing guidelines of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Meat shortage concerns have nothing to do with the supply of animals available to be slaughtered, but rather companies' ability to keep the production lines moving at the rate of consumer demand. There are two main issues causing vulnerabilities in the meat supply chain. First, coronavirus cases within meat processing plants have reached over 6,500, and 20 workers have passed away from the virus, according to a report from the United Food and Commercial Workers International Union. In other words, a lot of workers are home in quarantine because of infection. So why not hire more workers? Unfortunately, it's not quite that simple. Learning how to properly process meat and make the cuts requires training and specialized skills. And secondly, in order to maintain social distancing guidelines, fewer workers can work the production lines. We've all heard the expression, many hands make light work. But the meat industry is currently experiencing the opposite effect. Right now, there simply are not enough hands to produce the meat at the rate that you and I are used to purchasing it at. So what does all this mean for chicken dinners and grilling burgers? In order to produce the meat faster, we're likely going to see fewer options of cuts of meat in the grocery stores. It takes a lot more time and skill to produce boneless chicken breasts than it does chicken drumsticks. It's also possible that we will see the prices of meat affected. High demand and less supply might make some meat more expensive. As far as the effect on farmers and ranchers, well, that somewhat depends on the type of animals that they raise. Cattle can be kept out to pasture, and their diets can be changed so that they can be slaughtered at a later date when the cutting and packaging plants are reopened and fully operational. Unfortunately, it's more difficult with chickens and hogs that usually need to be slaughtered within a certain time frame due to crowding issues on farms. Because of this, some farmers are sadly having to euthanize some of their animals, which is a big financial loss to those farmers. Fortunately, the private sector and the government are taking action to address the problems at meat processing plants. This includes President Trump's recently issued executive order that is designed to keep plants open. The Heritage Foundation's senior research fellow Darren Bass explains that we must make it a top priority to address worker safety. Only then will we see results. Doug Baker, Vice President of Industry Relations at the Food Industry Association, says we need to keep in mind that the food supply industry is resilient. It might be strained right now, but we can all help to relieve some of that tension. How? Don't panic buy. No one wants another toilet paper situation. So only buy the meat that you need and even consider alternative proteins like fish. Americans are a strong and resilient people. We're going to get through this. It just might require eating fewer steaks and chicken breasts for a time.